Punks jump up to get beat down. Jaron boots Ennis without an opponent again after Cody Crawley pulls out of the fight. And it's just been so tough getting guys with the balls big enough to fight Boots Ennis. Here we have an undefeated Canadian fighter in Cody Crawley. I thought it was going to be a great matchup, but he's having some vision issues. He can't pass the vision test to actually climb in the ring with Boots Ennis. That's unfortunate, but there is a replacement. Let's talk about it. What up, YouTube? Big TL Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Man, if you don't get your big goofy ass in here and hit the bag. If you're catching me for the very first time, please like, comment, subscribe, and most definitely hit that little bell, man. Make sure it's dark so when I drop, man, you can get that content. You feel me? Shout out to the gang, man. Supporters of the channel. Responsible for some heavy donations, man. Tyree Celestine, DJ out of Australia, man. D1's Boxing, Mark Nash TV, man. I truly appreciate y'all. Cornelius Burnett, I see you too, bro. Black Jesus, my guy. Boots Ennis, 31-0, 28 KOs, having the hardest time in the world finding somebody to get in the ring. He gets Cody Crawley. He has to pull out, but guess who's stepping in? Somebody who Boots actually has in common with, of one fighter that Boots actually has in common with Bud Crawford, is a Thomas Delorme. I don't know if most of you paid attention, but of course, Bud Crawford got to get his hands on Thomas Delorme several years back now, and Boots, and he was able to get Delorme out of there in 6. Now, this was a different kind of Delorme. I don't know if you guys remember, but Delorme had a little name. He started off his career hot. He was like 16-0 before he caught his first L. But when Bud fought him, he was still, up there as far as the rankings. And Boots was able to get a hold of Delorme not very long ago, just a few fights ago. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 fights ago for Boots, if that many. But he was able to make quick work of Thomas Delorme, getting him out of there in the first round. So Bud was able to get him out of there in the 6th. Boots was able to get him out of there in 1. I think Virgil Ortiz just recently got Thomas Delorme out of there in the first round as well. But Boots' replacement for this Cody Crawley fight is David Avanesyan. I believe he's 34-4, something like that. And we last seen him fighting Bud Crawford, and that was the end of 2022. That December fight, that infamous BLK Prime fight. I think they gave Bud Crawford maybe $10 million for that fight, trying to really make a footprint in the sport of boxing. The small company BLK Prime. But he got the fight, of course, David Avanesyan. I believe he got David Avanesyan out of there in the 6th round. So now it just comes to, hey, we already had one common opponent in Thomas Delorme. I was able to make quicker work of him than Bud Crawford. Now it's about Boots trying to make an even bigger statement, picking somebody as like a David Avanesyan as a replacement, another common opponent with Bud Crawford, who was able to get Avanesyan out of there in 6. Now, can Boots Ennis do the same thing? Now, it's always an argument when you getting these guys a little bit later on, and you beat them in better fashion. People are going to always say, oh, well, they wasn't, they was better then than they are now. But listen, this is the only measuring stick that you have, right? Why? Because you want to see the Boots and Bud fight. I seriously don't think Bud would ever fight Boots unless somebody could come up with a cool $10 million for him to fight him. It just doesn't make sense as far as financially for a promoter to do so. Maybe for the sake of trying to capture the scalp of Bud Crawford between this year or next year, Eddie Hearn would be willing to offer that kind of money to Bud Crawford for that fight. I just really believe Bud drops all of the 47 belts in August. But Avanesyan on the menu, the replacement for Cody Crawley, for Boots. If you're Boots, you just want to try and you're trying to fight anybody who's willing to step in the ring with you. He's entered his prime. I don't want him to continuously lose prime years, not being active, not being able to fight guys. I truly believe that's why he made the move with Eddie Hearn in the zone. He sees how, if nothing else, the zone is finding these guys fights and keeping them busy. And that's what you want for somebody like a Boots Ennis, whom a majority of us believes that, he potentially is the future of 147 pounds. But you want, if you're Boots Ennis, you want to have the best performance versus a common opponent, David Avanesyan, and try and make shorter work of him than Bud Crawford, just like he did with Thomas Delorme. For Boots, I like the fight. Again, if nothing else, this is more ammunition to say, here's why many people believe Boots Ennis beats Bud Crawford. Here's another measuring stick for Boots Ennis. All right. Definitely want to know y'all's opinions in the comment section, man. That's all I got for y'all on this one. Boots Ennis, David Avanesyan. Just so you guys are aware, that's going to be, because he's a replacement, that should be on the same date, which would be the July 13th card for Jaron Boots Ennis and David Avanesyan. Matchroom DAZN, Eddie Hearn. All right, that's all I got, man. Big TL, heavy bag. I'm out of here, man. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.